What was the uneasy situation that potentially threatened the economic, environmental, and personal security of people across the world? Or... You got it. Your choice, Cold War, is right. Which president built the wall, thus committing human rights abuses by separating children from their families? Clear logic. Your choice, Trump, is sound and 100% true. A growth or spread, especially the spread of nuclear weapons to nations that do not currently have them. You chose proliferation, and it is correct. Which president invaded Iraq in spite of receiving no agreement to do so from NATO or the UN? Well done. Bush is the right choice. Which president tried to shut down the detention center at Guantanamo Bay, but failed? Well picked. Obama is the correct answer. Dash the supremacy of the state, within and as independence on the global arena. Correct. Sovereignty is the right answer. Dash the preservation of the norms, rules, institutions, and values of society. Correct response. Security is the most accurate answer. Under which president was there a significant increase in the use of drones? Smart pick. Obama is the correct choice. A person who leaves his or her country to find safety in another country. Bravo. Refugee is the answer. Which president sanctioned the use of enhanced interrogation techniques? Nicely done. Bush is a solid answer. Which president signed up to the Strategic Defense Alliance called AUKUS? Excellent choice. Biden is the right answer. Which president withdrew from the Paris Agreement on climate change? Right choice. Trump is the best answer. Which country did not experience a similarly violent attack to 9/11? Strong choice. France is the right answer. Dash the devotion to the interests of one's own nation other others. Nice selection. Nationalism is the correct and valid answer. Dash an arena includes the art of government and/or public affairs. Nice work. You chose politics, and it is correct. What is the general response of the global community to terrorism? Valid point. Condemnation and disapproval is true. Dash an assessment of a potential opponent's military capability. On track. Threat is the correct answer. What is a key aspect of sustainable and localized food systems? Smart move. Supporting regenerative agriculture practices is an accurate answer. Which of the following is not a dimension of global security? Perfect. Social security is the correct choice. Which of the below is not a characteristic of a failed state? Solid response. Authoritarian rule is a valid choice. In what year did Bush order American troops to invade Iraq? Excellent. 2003 is a brilliant choice. What do most Muslims do in response to terrorist attacks? Great thinking. Condemn the attacks is the right choice. Which president sought to reach out to the Arabic world? Great job. Obama is the accurate answer. Where were the two hijacked planes flown into on 9/11? Exactly. The World Trade Center makes sense, and it is right choice. Which terrorist group carried out the 9/11 attacks? Sharp thinking, leaders is the right choice.
Where did the fourth hijacked plane crash on the 9/11? Well reasoned. Pennsylvania is the correct choice.
Which president secured a nuclear deal with Iran?
Good job. Your answer, Obama, works well here.
Which president was dismissive of climate change?
Good thinking. Trump is the right answer.
Which president rejoined the Paris Agreement?
Right again. Biden is a valid answer.
Which of the below is not an economic threat?
You're right. Change of government is the correct answer. What is a key importance of global security?
You chose countering transnational threats. And it is correct.
George W. Bush declared the war on Daesh. Well reasoned. Terror is the correct choice.
When did the 9/11 attacks occur? You got it? Your choice, September 11th, 2001, is right. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Nice work. You chose contact Narayan Changder, and it is correct.